Hey, it's Dr. Levi, your chiropractor. In this short video, I'm going to go through some safe and effective stretches that people with lower back pain can do, all right? You'll see an overarching theme in all of my stretches, like in my core exercises, is keeping a neutral spine. And you may think, why does he always go on about this neutral spine business? Simply for the fact is that no one has ever injured their back while having a neutral spine. Back injuries all happen when we compromise the natural shape of the spine, the natural neutral position, and we take the spine out of that position and we start flexing it or rotating it and doing all those types of things. No one's ever injured their back in a neutral spine, therefore that is the reason that I recommend that you, when you are doing stretches and flexibility, you keep a neutral spine, and when you are doing your strengthening exercises, you keep a neutral spine. So that's the overarching theme you will see with my stretches. So safe and effective ways you can do some stretches for muscles commonly associated with lower back pain. All right. First one up is the hamstrings. All right. Really common area that people feel tightness in the hamstrings with lower back issues. All right. And classically, people are going to do that terrible knee straight, bend down and touch the toes, okay? Couldn't be anything worse that you can do for back pain, all right? For back issues to aggravate the back than that stretch. The amount of patients that I have helped with adjustments and getting them to stop doing that stretch, it's crazy the amount of people that have made huge improvements when I get them to stop doing that stretch. So how are we going to stretch the hamstrings while keeping the lower back neutral? Really easy. We need some sort of wall surface, okay? A doorway is really good, a corner of the wall is really good, and we're going to use that to help with our hamstring stretch. So we are going to lay on our back. So one leg is going to go past the doorway, the frame, okay? And the leg that we are stretching, so in this case, my left leg, I'm stretching, it's going to go against the wall, all right? And I'm going to try to get a straight leg. I'm going to try to pull my toes towards me, all right? And this is stretching my hamstring, all right? I don't have to compromise my lower back. My lower back can stay in a nice neutral position here and I can do my stretch, all right? You may be further away from the wall if you're struggling with, if you're working on your flexibility. So you may start off like that. Just put the timer on, 30 seconds, 1 minute, you're going to hang out here, all right? You ideally want to try to, if you want to increase the stretch, you want to get your bottom as close as you can to the wall, get that leg to 90 degrees. This leg here, support leg, can be bent. That will help you maintain a neutral spine, all right? If you feel like this is too easy and I'm not feeling a stretch in my hamstring, the back of the leg, you can increase this stretch, okay? Yoga band or a belt or something like that around the ankle, all right, to help move the leg off the wall, all right, when we are stretching. But I just like to lay here, relax. I'll do double stop signs here for shoulder external rotation while I'm relaxing here, and just do some belly breaths and relax, all right? Now, if I was doing the other leg, all right, I have to move to the other part of the wall that allows me to put this leg down as a support leg. So over here, and obviously you won't be able to see the support leg, but that leg is bent, and now this leg can come up like that, and I can sit here for my stretch, my hamstring stretch, keeping my lower back neutral. Next up, we've got a groin stretch, all right? So a classic groin stretch is like your butterfly stretch, all right? Where you're sitting on your bottom and you want the soles of your feet touching together, and then your legs are splaying out like that. What I often find is, unfortunately, when people are doing this stretch, all right, they end up like, like a little ball or something like that. So we are putting the back into that flexion position, that dangerous position. So easy solution to that, when you do your butterfly stretch for your groin, so the inner thigh muscles, just put your back against the wall and that'll help keep it in a neutral position. So I get my bottom against the wall, my mid-back's going to touch, the back of my head's going to touch, and I just can do this exact same stretch, soles of the feet together, and I can pull them in, alright? And I can stretch here, but you can see my lower back is in a neutral straight position and I'm not compromising it. If I need to stretch more, I can use my elbows on my knees or can use my hands to push out here, alright? But I don't need to be bending like that or pushing like that, okay, and compromising that lower back. So I can keep it nice and neutral and I can be here and do my stretches, alright? I'm going to show you another groin stretch that you can do against the wall also. Another stretch for the groin that we can do that I think is a really cool stretch uses gravity to help us with this stretch, okay? So commonly when we want to stretch the groin, people are doing those types of stretches where you're making your legs out into like a V shape, okay? And you're coming down like that or you're reaching like that, okay? Once again, compromising the lower back. So how are we going to do this stretch? We're going to utilize a wall to help us with that. Now this one you will be putting your feet on the wall, alright? Similar to the hamstring one, a little bit more, there may be a bit more movement. So make sure that obviously you're not doing this with shoes or doing it on a wall that you may scuff or mark. Wearing socks can be a really good thing with this stretch, okay? Because it can actually help with the stretching ability of it. So what you want to do is you want to find your wall, sit parallel to the wall to start with. It'll be the easiest position to get in. What you would ideally like is you want to get your hips as close to the wall as possible. And we're going to be laying on our back again. We're going to make the V shape against the wall, alright? This is a really good one that you can just hang out in and let gravity do its work. You'll see it'll make more sense when I show you it. The gravity of the weight of your legs and your feet will help open up that stretch. So yeah, feel free to hang out in this one for a little bit longer, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 3 minutes or something like that if you want to, alright? So sitting close to the wall, parallel, so my hips are nice and close to the wall, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the backs of my legs against the wall, like that, and my hips are as close to the wall as possible, and the same deal, I'm going to keep my legs straight and they're just going to come out into that V shape like that, alright? And I'm just going to sit here and relax, and that's how I'm going to stretch my groin muscles. Now like I said, if you have socks on and your wall is a little bit slippery, it's really, really good because the weight of your feet over time will just slowly add some more stretch to that, okay, as you hang out here, okay? So really, really good stretch to do. Once again, inner groin, or the groin in general, and we're keeping our back nice and flat. To stretch more, your legs are going to go wider. To stretch less, okay, your legs may be closer together. Alright, so we're going to be looking at a hip flexor quadricep stretch, alright? So the hip flexors at the front of the hip, front of the leg here, okay? And quadricep coming down also like front of the leg there. So really handy stretch for those muscles. This stretch you will need something that you can put your foot on that is usually like the height of a sofa or a chair or a lounge or something like that. And if the surface that you're doing the stretch on is hard, something to protect your knee. A cushion or a towel or something like that can work really well, okay? Classically, this is a really good one to do at home in the lounge room when you're watching TV because of the access to cushions and like a lounge chair. So what you'll want to do is place your knee protector on the ground. You're going to get your knee here and you're going to put your foot on the surface of the chair or the lounge, alright? Like this. Now, ideally what we would like is the knee as close as possible to the chair, alright? The closer the better. So it may take a little bit of rearranging. Your support leg going to be like 90 degrees to help support you, alright? And we're in this position. Now for some people already, with this leg bent like this, and standing up nice and tall, you're going to feel a lot of stretch coming through the whole front of the leg here. And that's the goal. Really important when you are doing hip flexor stretches that we don't let the body go into that flexion position. You really want to accentuate that forward pelvic tilt, so that natural curve of the lower back, okay? You really want to be in that position. Now with this stretch, the way that I increase it is I close the distance between my hips and my heel here. So see this distance here? If I use my front leg to just gently push me back and close that distance, now I've increased the stretch along the front of this leg, and that's how I can stretch that one more, okay? Now you see, I didn't push myself back and round or anything like that. I kept myself neutral. I kept my pelvis tilting forward and that natural arch in my back. I use the front leg to drive back, get that hip touching that heel, all right? And then I can, if I want, the same leg I'm stretching, I can drive that arm to the ceiling there for a really good stretch all the way along there, all right? So, safe way to do a hip flexor quadricep stretch.